Saying ain't is, saying ain't so. The Rams are 3-1 now. What's going on, everyone? Jalen Nelson here with your Monday morning podcast for what month are we on now? We're in October. All right, October 3rd, 2016. October 3rd. No fall baseball coming. Little fall classic. Little playoffs baseball starting. My Yankees won't be seeing it. The Yankees won't be seeing it. Oh man, what's going on, guys? How was your weekend? Oh man, it's been a rough week for me. Rough week, man. I'm all over the place. So as always on this thing, I want to talk about so many different things. Totally forgot to talk about last podcast. The guy dancing with my mother at her 60th birthday party. And already forgot what else I wanted to talk about. But it's a rough week, man. How was your weekend? Are you ready to get back to work? Are you ready to get back to seeing your coworkers that you hate and they hate you, but you guys gotta sit there and work for the government, give them half of what you make. Half of what you make. You get paid every 2 weeks, every week. Every 2 weeks just seem like the pay is just less. I don't know, man. Yeah, but like I said, I'm all over the place. But rough week, man. I had a rough week, man. Rough week. The weekend was rough. Like I said, as always, guys, I don't watch football. I'm always working on Sundays. Didn't get to watch the Clemson game. Clemson and Louisville game. I didn't get to see that. Catching up on Walking Dead, guys. I got a review for that. Check that out. Even this podcast, I'm getting to it so late because it's a couple of things I had to rattle off real quick. Yeah, man, it's just been a rough week. I had a passing in my family. Huge passing in my family. My grandmother passed away at the age of 91. Really tough situation for me because I never had someone that was so close to me pass away. She's the first person I've had that was really close to me and that I lived in the same house with and things like that passed away. And it's tough, just having someone pass that's so close to you is such a process. It's the process of whether you know it's coming or not. You go through that, whether you know it's coming and you can kind of prepare yourself, or it's just it drops on you and someone just passes. But I didn't know it was such a process of we didn't know she was going to go. We didn't know, and I'm not gonna go into the whole entire story. Like I said, we didn't know she was gonna go, and yeah, man, it's a process because you find out, you go through all of that, and then when you go through all of that, it happens. You go through that, and then it's a process of how close you're with the person and what kind of influence you have on their life. Or you have to make arrangements or be a part of the arrangements and things like that. So it's all of that going on, and then it's the people, friends, not much family, but friends that just the condolences and the prayers and the this and the that, to a point where for me it has been annoying me this entire week. Has been annoying me. Everyone and they're asking me how I'm doing, and it's just been such a process. Have yet to bury her. Got family members coming from other parts of the states. But yeah, it's just a rough week. But I'm dealing with it. Life goes on. My grandmother, she's a huge factor in my life. huge factor in my life. And she just being a really big part of who I am today is probably helping me deal with it. Just the things that she taught me that I love, just being a young boy. Grandmother was she was heavily into sports and wrestling and things like that. So that stuff lives with me today, like sports and things like that. She, like, being in the neighborhood I was as a kid, urban city, the neighborhood, crime, you name it, it was there. But on that street, it was so many kids, and I think I mentioned my street before in another podcast episode. In those type of neighborhoods, there's nothing but kids. So you're always, if you go outside, and I'm like the last generation of kids that actually go outside. I think I am. So what I would do was, when my friends and I had a backyard where we could play, or my friend across the fence, his backyard or whatnot, and all I would have to do is ring the doorbell. Like, we lived on the second floor. My grandmother would come to the back porch, and I had every ball, like a soccer ball, a football, a basketball, like, and all I would have to do is just tell her what ball I wanted. She would throw it down out the window, and we would just play. We would play. And if I would go inside, she's probably watching a game. She loved her New York teams, Giants, Yankees. That's why she's the reason why I'm a huge Yankee fan. Love my Yankees, diehard Yankees fan. Win, lose, or draw, diehard, man. So yeah, some of those things just live on with me, and it just makes me think, like, just baseball, fall classic, things like that. Playoffs are starting this Wednesday. I've seen like topics in the past about why so few blacks are playing professional baseball. Being a sports fan, it's any kind of sports thing that's either in the middle or positive is fun to talk about. Talking about Deflategate and Tom Brady, it's just tiring. As much as I hate the Patriots, hate Tom Brady, for reasons like beating my Rams in the Super Bowl and stuff like that, I still hold that grudge. But Deflategate is... How long did we talk about that? Was that 2014? Was that the 2014 playoffs? I think it was the 2014 playoffs. Probably the 15. But even if it was the 15, way too long. So the thing about blacks, so few blacks in Major League Baseball, is simple, man. Like I said, like I just told the story, all I had to do was say what ball. But to play baseball, I had to get my bat, get my tennis balls, because that's what we played. We played with tennis balls. We would hit one and it'd go, you smash a home run, you can't find it, game is over. Game is over. Hopefully the game ended around the ice cream truck man is coming. Mr. Softy's coming down the street. Which is a entire different story about my neighborhood and ice cream man. It's a complete different story. But yeah, it is very simple. Like, it's so easy to play baseball. It just is. Not so easy to play baseball. It's so easy not to play it because it's everything you need. Like, playing football, you could play football 2-on-2 with a guy that plays quarterback. You could play with 5 people. Basketball could be played 1-on-1. Or basketball could be played with no one but yourself. But baseball? How do you play baseball by yourself? Even if you play 3-on-3 baseball, it's still, No, in my neighborhood, we were able to play baseball. But a lot of guys that played baseball only played it because everyone else was playing it. Those guys were your easy outs. They were your Miguel Cairos. they were your Miguel Cairos. Like, those guys were your number 9 hitters, so to say. You know what I mean? But that's why it's such an easy thing. Why there's so few blacks, And I've seen people really break it down to being drafted and having to be in the minors, and in the NFL and the NBA, you're the you get drafted first round, you're the guy. In most cases, you're the guy. Money, millions coming right out, you're playing professional. I don't even think it's that far. I don't even think so. Like, blacks, we just prefer to play football and basketball. That's what's cool in the neighborhoods, in the urban cities. Football, basketball. Like baseball is it's America's pastime, but it's really the pastime. Like I was telling my friend about a year or two ago, I'm like, baseball in about 15 years is gonna be done. It's tough to sit there now and watch it. It's too slow. Baseball is way too slow. I love baseball, but it's too slow. Being a Yankee fan in the Yankees and Red Sox games, 3.5, 4 hours long. 3.5 to 4 hours long. Like, if you ever watch someone on YouTube, they do these videos. They condense the NFL games, and it goes down to about 43 minutes or something like that. But it's a 3-hour game. All the nonsense of commercials and all of that stuff. Like, just think about, like, let me even break it down even more. TV shows. A TV show, an hour-long TV show, it's like 41 to 42 minutes. All that other stuff is commercials. A 30-minute episode of something is 21 to 22 minutes long. It's too slow, and that's why I told my friend, I said soccer is the sport that's going to take place of baseball. It just is. Plain and simple. Baseball, it's 2 halves, 90 minutes, 95 to 96 minutes long. No commercials, nonstop action. Even with the action, it's so less action, but the game is still going on. The game is still going on. Like, think about, would you sit in front of a TV, or interesting to just not have commercials and just let's just, if you're watching a basketball game, in the basketball game, don't go to commercials. And you could just sit there and watch what the fans at the arena is watching. Would you prefer that, or would you prefer commercials? Just something to think about, right? Just something to think about. So I didn't get to watch any football, as always. But my Rams are 3-1. All my predictions, I was looking at the spreads, and they had Arizona 8.5-point favorites. Divisional game, no, 8.5-point favorites. And I should have put some money on the books, because I was pretty much right. Carolina was 3-point favorites. All my predictions look wrong. Like I said, my Rams would be third in the division. We're number one right now. We're number one right now, I think. 3-1. Hope we can keep it going, but Seattle as the number one, and I think I said Carolina as the 2, and Minnesota not making the playoffs. Look at me now. Me talking about the Redskins and not the Cowboys. Look at me now. But I'll take the pressure for that, as long as my Rams win. I'll take that pressure. 3-1. I'll take that. But I didn't get to watch any of it. That's another week. I'm stuck at work with these coworkers of mine. These wonderful coworkers of mine. I'm telling you, it's so stressful going into, and I think I said this in one of my podcasts, the Life After High School one. You have to do something you love. You have to, or be able to do something you love. Because even then, you're in that position of, if I don't like this place, I can go to another place and do something I love, But I'm these weekends that I'm not having off, to not watch football, to just not do anything, that's going to change. That's definitely, I'm not doing that ever again. Forget that, man. Forget this. It's trying to be like the company guy, the one that's not trying to make waves, but everyone else make waves and they get what they want. Me taking 3 years, doing 3 years, no vacations. 3 years, no vacations. There's only about a couple people that do the hours I do, but everyone makes more than what I make. So the most honest and the best advice anyone could ever give someone young: do something that you definitely love, man. For real, for real. That could be a complete rant for a video or a listen in itself. But we're not gonna go there. I want to talk about Philadelphia. If that's okay with you people out there. I'll talk about Philadelphia real quick. Talk about Philadelphia. Now, Philly, I'm a Flyers fan. I'm a Sixers fan. I like the steak and cheese. I like cheese steaks, but I've never been to Geno's and I've never been to Max. I will go when I go and see the Sixers game, but look at it now. Simmons out for about 3 months or so. Simmons is out, and we have no clue which big we're gonna keep. No clue. You got the whole thing with Meek Mill and Game going on. That seemed to starting to die down. I don't think Meek's gonna respond. So that's another L. That's 3 L's for Meek Mill. Game album is set to release this month. Meek Mill's DC4 set to release, I think, later on this month. And it's now a Beanie Siegel and Meek Mill thing, where he gets jumped for saying he wrote for MLB, which I guess is Meek's cousin or somebody. Who the hell knows? I don't, obviously. So, just what the hell is going on in Philly? What the hell is going on? Like, before, Philly used to be a great city. Granted, shit can happen, and it could be a rough city. It is a rough city, but Philly, what is going on in Philly? Is there anyone that's listening to this? Out of the 4.5 people that listen to this, is there any one of you that has any kind of connections in Philly? Can you please tell me what's going on? I would love to know. I would love to know what's going on in Philly right now. Just love. The whole Meek and Beanie Siegel. What the hell is going on? Now it's it was Drake. It was Cassidy and Meek. Oh, Philly. Then it was Drake and Meek. And Drake switched it to A-Rab and Meek. Then it was The Game and Meek. And somehow, I can't say Game put it to Beans and Meek. But now it's Beanie Siegel and Meek. How out of all 3 Meek Mill's beefs, it ended up being turned into someone from his own city? That's how pretty much it ended. How does that happen? Now, I know Meek taking the debate and all of that stuff, but this last one, man, it has to be some kind of state of emergency in Philly right now. It has to be. If the Eagles weren't winning games, if Carson Wentz was not balling right now, Philadelphia would be at that point, where they would have to, reapply to be part of the States. That's what would have to happen. Philadelphia right now, they would have to reapply. It's kind of like Detroit. They're all financial situations, but Philly would have to reapply. And I always go back to that. I always go every other month, go and listen to that comedian Bill Burr, my favorite comedian. His rant on Philadelphia, he totally destroys a crowd of between 15 to 30,000 people that was booing him. I think they were booing the guy before him. In Philly, he just destroyed them. Destroyed the whole city of Philadelphia. But who kidding who, man? I live in Connecticut. Everyone thinks, living in Connecticut, I'm living in Greenwich. WWE headquarters, rich. Come on now. Get my ass taxed out here. That's what's going on, man. I didn't get to see that. I think it's this week, man. Birth of a Nation. Can't wait to see that. I'm dying to see that thing right there. What's going on here? The Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tells, No Tales. I got a trailer reaction for that. Go ahead and check that out. Walking Dead season 6 review. That's what I've been caught up with. Been caught up with that for about the last month. How long was it? I was a season and a half behind, caught up. So I'm ready for season 7. I got a review on season 6. Go ahead and check that out. It's just watching The Walking Dead, season 6, great season, by the way. Spoiler alert right now. Just saying, it was a great season, and I'm about to go into a little bit of spoilers here for the review. Not the review. Well, the review is spoilers, but I'm gonna go ahead and spoil some more stuff. Damn, that was hard to get out. So, great season. But I just noticed, like, everyone being in relationships. How did so many walkers end up being into that town? Like, that's a small town. How did that many walkers show up there? You get what I'm saying? Like, and I hate to be the ass to just really nitpick at things here, but everyone in The Walking Dead, everyone in The Walking Dead, they have handguns with holsters. How does everyone find a holster for their handgun? Everyone has a fucking Uncle Mike. Everyone has an Uncle Mike or a Black Hawk holster. Everyone. How does that happen? Everyone has one of those things. Everyone has a Black Hawk for their Glock, and everyone has a sling. Everyone has a strap for their rifle. How does that happen in a apocalypse situation? Now, I get it. I know it's the South. But come on now. Now, I know some people don't even have slings for their rifles, but everyone has a sling. Everyone has a holster. There's not one person that walks around either with their gun in their hand or just inside their waistband without the holster. Probably nitpicking there, but I'm just saying, right? Like, the whole thing with Carol, now I heard a theory with Carol. I heard a theory with Carol and making a how do you call it? A deal with Negan, the guy that showed up in the last 10 minutes of the last episode of season 6. Heard a theory. Sounds good. But who knows, man? Just the whole thing with Carol just seems weird. Should I talk about the theory I heard? Which, when I was listening to it, I'm like, makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, so real quick before I get out of here, man. The theory I heard about the whole Carol in season 6, which the later half of season 6, was that, now I just sum it up because I'm not going to go into everything that I heard and listened to. It was Carol wanting to leave, wanting to die, because that just didn't make sense. It was just out of left field for me. But this theory that this person was saying, that they laid out, it was, like I said, make a lot of sense to me. You should listen to it. You're listening to me, you're probably going to listen to it right now. So, the theory this person laid out was that Carol felt so guilt and wanted to leave and wanted to die because she poisoned Maggie. And she poisoned Maggie to make some kind of deal with Negan. Which, I'm like, oh, okay. Sounds about... that makes more sense than what the show was telling me and giving me. But I don't know, man. It makes sense to me. Again, I'm not going to go full into what I heard and whatnot, but it makes sense to me. Again, it's not my theory, but it makes a lot of sense to me. So I'm ready for season 7, man. My Rams 3-1. Death in the family, but things have to move on. My grandmother had a great life, great life, man. 91. My mother, her birthday was last week and a half. She had a great birthday. Funny thing is, man, I'm gonna get out of here after this. This is the thing I wanted to say. Now, most of my videos, probably 90% of my videos, don't really display my humor, because I'm trying to be so I know what I'm talking about guy, instead of being entertaining, funny, and then showing you I know what I'm talking about. But it's weird. It's really, I think it's kind of weird. It's kind of like saying, yeah, I'm smart. Well, I am funny. Okay. like I said, it's like me saying, yeah, I'm smart. It's like one of those people saying like, yeah, I'm smart or I'm pretty. But whatever. Now, my sense of humor comes from my mom. Little funny thing she said at her party. Now, it's getting started. A band, like I said, it was a great band. And the guy, the front man for the band, he goes and says, hey, birthday girl in the house, 60. 60 never looked so good. Now he goes and says, so, what is your name? And everyone starts talking. My mom can't even say anything. Everyone starts talking. They start giving their names, they say. What they call my mother. And the guy's like, what? Wait, what? Get about 2 or 3 names. He's like, so is it this one? And my mom's like, yeah, it's okay. And I don't think I told this story. I don't think I did. Hopefully I didn't. Hopefully I did not tell this story. So the guy gets about 3 names. And my mom was like, yeah, that's cool. I'm like, wait a minute. He's like, wait a minute. But I heard they called you. Heard somebody say. And like, yeah, that's okay. He's like, but someone else said this. So which one you want? Like, my mom was like, either or, it doesn't matter. He's like, no, but it's your birthday. Which one would you prefer? Would you prefer this one? Would you prefer this one? Did you prefer this one? Which one would you prefer? My mom was like, yeah, it doesn't matter. And the guy was like, come on, like, it's your night. What would you prefer? Not what everybody else is saying. What am I calling you? What is your name? And my mom goes and says, well, if you're single, you can call me honey. And it just lit up the whole crowd. Lit up the whole crowd. Lit up the entire crowd. Guys, I'm getting out of here. Like I said, Birth of a Nation, I think it's this week. I think it's this week. Go ahead and check that out. I'm watching the first one. I'm watching the original Birth of a Nation. I'm gonna have that up. I have a Pirates of the Caribbean's Dead Man Tells No Tales, the 5th Pirates of the Caribbean's trailer reaction. I just uploaded a Madden gameplay of my Connected Careers episode 2. Some movie news. Walking Dead season 6 review is up. Got some Bad Boy 3 and Bad Boy 4 news up. Ark movie. Science fiction, I should say. Movie from Netflix is up. Make sure to check out the other podcasts. 50 Shades Darker trailer reaction. Split movie. M. Night Shyamalan movie. Director-writer of Signs, Sixth Sense, Unbreakable. He did The Shitty Lady in the Water and The Airbender. Spoiler alert for future movie reviews. It's Split. He's his new movie that's coming out next January. Magnificent 7 movie review is up. 31 by Rob Zombie, director of A House of a Thousand Corpses, the Halloween remix that came out a couple years ago with what's her name, Scout Taylor Compton, but you don't ever see her anymore. She's probably on some small TV show somewhere. Rob Zombie, like I said, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and what else am I plugging here? That's about pretty much it, man. So if you're new here, man, go ahead, like this, share, subscribe. A whole bunch of movie content, movie news, few movie trailers, a couple. Only got 2 Madden gameplays. I can't get to them as much. I'm getting back to the movie reviews since I caught up with my Walking Dead. Guys, thanks for listening. If you are subscribed here, thank you. Until the next video, guys, I am out, and have a great week back at work. Catch you guys in the next vid.